G'day guys, welcome back to Motor Rider Australia, where we talk people, passion and motorcycles. I'm joined here with Abbey. Abbey is a member of ACT Riders and a few other groups here in Canberra. And if you look over there, we have KHAOS sitting in front of us now. KHAOS has had a few changes over the last month, or actually over the last year probably, is that right?
Last year, I'd say, yeah.
Last year. And the most recent changes, you notice a nice shine of pink on the back. And pink, one of your favourite colours?
It is. It's my second favourite colour.
Yeah, so I want to go back and start from the beginning now. We have some good news as well. Abby's just recently passed her Ps, so yes. Yay. And this is your first bike that you've owned?
Yes, I've had this bike now for 2 years.
2 years. And tell us what's happened in those 2 years.
Ooh, so much.
So much. So the bike was originally green and like a Kawasaki Ninja green?
Yeah, it used to be a special edition Green Ninja. It's a 2013 model. And I bought it and I didn't love green to start with, but it kind of grew on me a little bit. And I already had plans to change the colours and whatnot, but I got lazy and I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just get a different bike. And then I slid it about 7 months ago, and from then I'm like, don't like the green anymore.
So you had an accident on the bike? Yeah.
Yeah, I had an accident. I was going around a corner in the wet and my bike found an oil patch.
Ooh.
And the back tyre just went wee, and it kind of slid out, and I knew I wasn't going to save it, so I just let go and I let it slide. And then I spent about 5 minutes trying to pick it up at midnight in the cold.
Oh my gosh. And that's, I mean, to think that you're going to let a bike go when it happens, that's a bit of a reaction. Like sometimes it happens out of the blue and you're lying there on the ground, you don't even know what's happened. I mean, I've been there before years ago, but you know, to know to push your bike away, that's probably saved a few injuries, do you think?
Oh, definitely. Because I wasn't wearing my Kevlar pants at the time because I'd just come back from a date.
Yeah.
And I wanted to look all nice. So I think just letting the bike go, because it's not the first accident that I've had.
Yeah.
The second time I ever rode a bike on my uncle's farm, I went into a ditch and I wasn't wearing any gear or anything, and it scraped me up a little bit.
And this is like an off-road bike? Like...
No, it was a little Honda CC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like 100cc.
100cc.
Little tiny road bike.
Yeah.
On the dirt. And I was like, okay.
I think I actually learned to ride on off-road, on an off-road bike as well. And you get to learn all the, you know, the skids and the braking stuff. And it's completely different to riding on the road. But for me, I felt like I had to go through that in order to justify me actually being on the road.
No, my brother and I have an older brother, Jacob.
Yep.
He's got a Honda CBRX. It's a big bike. It's an adventure bike. He and I both learnt to ride at my uncle's farm. He had a dirt bike because he's 6 foot. So he's a lot taller than I am, and I'm tiny. Yeah. So I had a little bike. And one of my nephews was doing laps around me on his little dirt bike, and I was like, wow.
Now, see, your bike's got, apart from so those grazers that I can see, I mean, the camera's probably not going to pick it up because it has been like touched up, but those grazers, that was part of the accident?
No, so all that side fairing where the SB Custom sticker is, that was actually a second-hand fairing that I got last year off of a rider's page or something. They said that they had like a box of spare parts for a Ninja 300, and I was first in, best dressed.
Yeah, right.
So I got the front, like the front bit, the sides, and a tail, and the little black bottom Kawasaki bit for basically for free. All I was missing was the tank and the front tyre fairing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I must say SP Customs did a good job at wrapping the parts on your bike in pink.
It was definitely fascinating to watch because I like sat with him while he was doing it, and it was fascinating.
Yeah.
I love learning new things and just watching people.
And guys, if you guys want your bikes wrapped, I mean, have a look down my YouTube page. You'll see that I've done a show and tell on Scott's bike straight after he wrapped it. So check him out and contact Scott if you want your bike wrapped. I noticed you've got a few stickers on your bike as well. You've got a couple of pink butterflies and a nice finger on one side, and fuck fake friends, and
a lot of my stickers are very the butterflies are very personal to me.
Yeah, okay.
My grandfather died 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
We were very close, and my family and I very heavily believe he was reincarnated into a butterfly.
Wow.
Very specifically an orange monarch
Wow.
butterfly.
Yep.
So that's why I've got little butterflies
That's
everywhere.
amazing.
Got butterfly tattooed on me.
That's amazing.
My phone case is butterflies. And actually when I passed my P's test and the instructor said congratulations, I saw an orange butterfly just fly past me.
See?
And I was like,
That was him.
yeah.
That was him. I mean, we had the same thing with the dragonflies, another scenario, but
I love dragonflies.
yeah, they're beautiful. So you've just passed your P's. Now tell us about your journey on your L's. Like if there's any learners, watching the channel and they want to get their license and get to know their bike, and what advice can you give them about?
Don't rush into it so quickly, because that's what I did. I rushed into it quicker than I should have, and I bought a bike without possibly thinking it through and trying different bikes. So the friends I had back when, they all had Ninja 300s, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a Ninja 300. We're all gonna be matching and all that. And then I actually put a deposit down for the bike, and we kind of just went our separate ways. But
And you were stuck with a 300 because of the environment. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I was stuck with the 300, but I was like, it's a good bike. It's a good learner bike. It's not too heavy. It doesn't have so much power that you get too confident too quickly, but it's also got enough power that if you're in traffic and you can see a car behind you that's not slowing down, you can throttle.
It's got enough torque to get through it.
Yeah, it's got enough torque, because originally I wanted to get a scooter.
Yep.
And my dad's like, no child of mine's going to have a scooter.
So, with you saying, the scenario you just mentioned about thinking it through, what do you think, if that environment wasn't there, what do you think you would have thought about a bit more?
I probably would have gotten a different bike.
Okay.
Like, I liked the look of the sports bikes, because my dad has an Indian Roadmaster.
Nice.
It's a nice bike.
That's a nice bike.
But I didn't like how open all the parts were and how it wasn't protected by the plastic fairings.
Yeah.
And my brother had a Honda, so I was looking into Hondas and whatnot, and all these other bikes. But I'm kind of glad now that I went with the Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Because it's such a beautiful bike.
It's funny how things can grow on you as well. You sort of second guess something, but once you maybe ride it for a little bit more, it becomes part of you, I guess. And
I only second guessed it after I passed my L's for the first time, and then I sat on that bike and I was like, oh God, I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
Because the 125s that they have at the learner's course is just so different. The seating and positioning is so different.
Are they Hondas?
Little Hondas.
Yeah, most of them use Hondas. Yeah. I know it's, I mean, when I did my riding course a while back as well, it was the same scenario, and it just felt funny when you turned compared to the bike that I was used to riding to.
It's very much more arm movements, whereas the Ninjas, you move more with your body.
Yeah.
I've found.
Okay.
Especially going around corners, I find if I bend my arm a little bit and I kind of lean in with the bike. So that's what my dad always taught me, is be one with the bike.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's
a good slogan, be one with the bike.
Yeah, I was a pillion for 10 years.
Okay.
My dad chucked me on the back of my uncle's cruiser when I was 10, 11.
Awesome.
And ever since then, I just be one with the bike.
Yeah.
So whenever I would pillion, I'd be one with the bike. So when the bike would move one way,
you'd have to not fight it.
I'd move, my body would just naturally move with it.
Yeah.
And now having my own bike and being able to ride it, my body just naturally moves with the bike. Unless I'm in a tight corner, then my body kind of goes out to make the bike lean a little bit more.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So being a learner, what are your tips in actually learning the bike? What did you do? Anything specific? Did you say to yourself, okay, today I want to master doing such and such, did you go out and do that, or?
For the first month, I was actually really nervous when I first got my L's. For the first month, I actually didn't leave my suburb. I rode around the block for a month, just every day for 2 hours a day or something. I just ride in circles, and I'd do a lot of left-hand turns, and then I'd pull up to the driveway, and then I'd just go back and I'd do right hands.
Okay, yeah.
And then after a month doing that, I started going out a little bit further, going 2 blocks instead of just the 1 block.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I felt a little bit more confident, I'd go on to the main roads of my suburb, and I'd try out the little roundabouts. There are a lot of roundabouts in Franklin.
There are a lot of roundabouts in Canberra, actually.
I was able to get my corners pretty good pretty quickly because of all the roundabouts that are near my house.
Yeah.
And obviously with my dad teaching me little tricks and tips in the book. If you're going through an S corner, if you can stay upright and ride a straight line, you'll go a lot faster, rather than trying to get like your knee down and get all the curves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
It does make sense.
he would draw like little like diagrams. Like I'd give him paper and I was like, Dad, how do I do this corner? And he would draw on it and then he would tell me how to do it.
Would he mention the apex like
Yeah.
in a lot of the corners? And
He would go into great detail about all of it because obviously I'm his only daughter on a motorbike. It's kind of scary.
yeah, for sure.
Doesn't want anything to happen to me.
I want to give you the right information
Yeah.
right now.
I mean, I think he didn't really want me to ride a motorbike because of how scary and dangerous they are. But I was like, I'm 20 now. I don't have to listen to you.
I'm getting a bike.
I'm getting a
regardless.
bike. I'm an adult now. I can do what I want.
Exactly.
Cars are boring.
Exactly. Well, so KHAOS. Why did you name your bike KHAOS?
It's kind of a petty story. When I first decided that I was going to start riding, I was with a guy who had a Honda or Suzuki or something, and he would chuck me on the back of his bike. And we would go out riding. It was my first Friday night ride. It was really fun. And that ride, my brother mentioned to everyone there that my dad was a cop, and I was like,
Shouldn't have said that.
why? And everyone just was like, your dad's a cop. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then we broke up and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get a bike because I'm sick of sitting on the back of other people's bikes and having to wait for someone to ride me around because I'd got the thrill back from being on a motorbike. And we had a bit of a messy breakup. And back then I was very childish. So I was like, I'm going to get a bike and I'm going to cause some chaos.
And this is KHAOS.
And this is chaos.
What's your next bike? Have you had thoughts?
I have. I've got two different bikes in mind. Because I've got like a system. I've estimated 3 to 4 years till I can get my next bike. Because I'm on my P's for a year, and then I've estimated another 2 years to possibly save up to get a new bike. I'm thinking either the 636 Ninja or the 650.
That's what I want to get. There's the ZX6R.
Yeah, just a little bit more power because I don't want to be one of those typical riders that get their P's, go off their P's, and then go straight for like the big boy bikes.
Yeah.
It's either that or an Indian Scout bobber.
That would be a nice bike.
I've looked at CMC with my dad and he's like, get a cruiser.
They've got some nice Indians in there at the moment.
They are a beautiful bike.
Yeah.
He's taught me to not like Harleys, so now I'm just like Indians. The Indian bikes.
Every man has dogs on a Harley, if you can afford it.
Oh, no, Harley's a crap.
Yeah.
Anytime I put up next to one, I can just see like the bike shaking and I'm like, it's going to fall off.
Guys, put some comments down here. Harley Davidson, Indian, you know, which way are we leaning here? Abby, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully, when you get your ZX6R, we'll do another show and tell. I'll probably have my ZX6R by then as well. So
Shoot, that one will be pink too.
Yes, you'll have to get the whole bike wrapped in pink.
Oh, easily, the whole bike.
But thanks for joining us today, Abby. Guys, check out ACT Riders for future rides. Also, the Daily Ride as well. The Daily Rides also puts up some nice vlogs. And until then, we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.